So good afternoon YouTube, and in this video I am going to create a form. This form is going to be completely working, that is, it will be connected to a server and a database so that it can collect all data. I don't want this video to be very long, so I had actually divided this form into 3 videos. In the first video I will just create the front end, and in the further parts I will and in part 2 I will connect it to a server, and in part 3 I will connect it to a database. And in database I am going to use MongoDB, which is a no MySQL database. So let's start. So as you can see, I am in the folder YouTube tutorial, and in this tutorial I am going to add a file named index.html. So forms for creating a form, we will first need to create which has an action and a method. So method will be always post, since we need this data to be collected in our database. So the method should be always post. For the time I will let action to be blank, and let's create our form. I will add a style of actually let us give a class of form, and also add a styles.css file from which we will add our CSS. Very first thing will be to link the CSS file, which is styles.css, and in our form we will first form table, and don't forget that whenever it is a class we add dot, and whenever it is ID we use hashtag. So for form we will first create a border of 1 pixel, no, not actually 1 pixel, let 2 pixel. This should be solid and it should be black, uh, and I want my form to be in center. For that I will add a margin of 5 rem from up top and bottom, and auto from left and right. I had used auto so that uh, the form will remain in center. And width to be fit content, so that our border just fits all the things and not require any extra space. And a padding of 1 rem, actually 0.5 rem is okay. In our form we will have two first we will have two things, that is first name and second name. So I will use label tag, and this will be for first name, and I will write it to be first name. Input type will be text, and its name will be first name. This name is very important because by name we are linking that label with our input box, and also while getting this data in our database we are going to use the name which is specified in this name attribute. So this name attribute is actually very important. uh, and this label will be for last name, having a value of last name, and an input box of type text, and name will be last name. I want some spacing everywhere, so I will use a break tag to break for space. So br tag is used for creating breaks in our statement, and now the next thing will be started from a new line. After first name and second name, let us also write the email ID. So label it will be for email ID, and I will write the data to be email. And input, this will be now the input type will not be text, it will be Gmail or email, and a name of email ID. And I will write a placeholder over here. This placeholder is used to fill the input box with some data. This data will get erased whenever someone types over here. So I will write @gmail.com, because most of the time uh, emails are Gmails and that end with @gmail.com. Again, two br tags for spacing. uh, at last we will create a password. So label, this is will be for password. Again, the value of the label will be password. Now an input box. Type, now the type of the password will be password, not input box, not text box, it will be passport. Okay, so now everything looks fine. Oh, I forgot, there will be name equal to password. And also one last thing, whenever we are creating a form, there should be a button in it, and that button should be, that button should have the type submit. So let's see how it works. Now for opening this thing or this file, I will use an VS Code extension called live server. If you want to download, you can go in this extensions and search here for live server. So the first, as you can see, I had typed live, and the very first option comes for live server. Open it. I have installed, so it is giving me option of disable and install, but for you there will be install button. Go ahead and install that. After installing that, just right click, open with live server. So as you guys can see, there is a form. This is a very simple form, yet a pretty much good looking form. So now this is the end of part 1, and in part 2 we will create the server for our form. So in part 2 we are going to create the server. Okay, so this is for this video, and in the next video I am going to create a server to connect it from here.